Dalmao is Wideman scores! Holter to Wideman, tic-tac, goal! The Fuel lead it 3-0.
The Indy Fuel had a record-setting 2022-23 season. It's time to wrap up the year. I am the broadcast voice of the Fuel, Andrew Smith. Joining me this afternoon is Jim Hallett, the owner of the Indy Fuel. And Jim, first of all, as we look back at this season, what a wonderful year it was, really from opening night forward. And beat Fort Wayne 7-5 on opening night. And then from there, that just seemed to set the stage for a great hockey season where the Fuel spent a lot of time in first place and played really, really good hockey all the way through and into the Kelly Cup playoffs.
Yeah, no question. It was by far our best season. When you think about the season we had, there was a lot of records set. It was the most points we ever achieved, 91 points. The most number of wins we had, 43 wins, and the most number of wins on the road, which is important. We had 23 wins on the road. And I won't go through all the scoring records that were broken, but there was a lot of scoring records broken by individual players. And then from a fan standpoint and an operational standpoint, record season for fans. Our attendance was up 25% or better. And the fans really come out and they really supported us. I guess 9 years in, the brand is finally caught on, and we could really feel the impact of that brand this year.
Well, you mentioned the fans and our great attendance this year. It seemed from mid-December, from Teddy Bear Toss on, really through the rest of the season, every time the doors were open on a Saturday night, there were 6,000 plus people in the house. We had multiple sellouts this year, our largest crowds in team history. What does that say, not just for the fans coming here to watch great hockey, but also the job that Larry McQuarrie and his staff did to present a fun night out for our families and the fans that are coming and watching hockey and making them not just come the first time, but want to come back and keep experiencing Indy Fuel hockey?
Yeah, Andrew, I think it's all about the fan experience. I think that the Indy Fuel created a great fan experience. And you know, if you think of 6,000 people coming to the arena, these aren't diehard hockey fans in most cases. And I would say, you know, directionally, half the fans come here because they want to be entertained with more than just the hockey, but with what goes on around the hockey. And then, of course, the other 50% of those fans are your diehard hockey fans. And I think it's just a great combination. It's a great venue, and there's a lot of energy in the building. And I think that we continuously try to improve the opportunities that we're offering fans to have a great night out.
Now, the game day experience is tremendous and has been, and that's been an emphasis really from day one. I think one thing Ray Compton said to me 30 years ago was, we're not Montreal, we're not Toronto. We want to give fans a great night out, even if they've never seen a hockey game before. And obviously, Larry McQuarrie, it starts with him, but just describe the importance of having a good front office and a good staff to put on a good show for our great fans every night.
Yeah, you know, I think at the end of the day, it all comes down to passion. Mm-hmm. You know, if you can find people that are passionate about not just the game, but passionate about the experience, then, you know, that passion comes through. And our employees do a fantastic job, you know, certainly led by Larry, but there's a lot of people that don't get a lot of credit. They're behind the scenes. They're not always front and center, but those people are the people that really dig in and really support us on making sure that we execute on what we plan for that evening. And there's a lot more people behind the scenes that are in front of the scene.
Well, one thing, we have had this conversation before, and you've said one of the really important things is the importance of having the right coach in place. Duncan Dalmao came on as the head coach at the end of last season, has been now with the franchise for 2 years, was just extended for 2 more years, and built this team largely of players who came back from last season but wanted to come play for him. And then obviously they continued to play and play well. And the one thing that he did was brought in a team full of high character guys. But how important is it to have a really, really good head coach in place that has led this team to new heights and hopefully even greater heights beyond this season?
Yeah, there's no question. Coach has a huge impact on the success of the team, and it's not just on the ice, but it's off the ice as well. And I think you mentioned the word character. I think it starts with character, and I think Duncan was focused on high character guys. There's a lot of guys that can play hockey, and a lot of guys that are looking to play hockey. But do they have the right values, and do they have the right character? And I think what goes on in the dressing room is very, very critical in terms of the way the guys interact, the way they treat each other, respect each other, and kind of feed off each other when they're playing. So Duncan did a tremendous job. He's definitely a player's coach. The players love to play for him. Duncan's got a lot of passion. He's got a lot of energy, and he absolutely loves his players. And I don't think that's too strong a word. And he demonstrates that game in and game out. And, there's no question he'll call them out when they need to be called out, but he'll also pat them on the back when they need a pat in the back. And he's got that energy, he's got that drive and passion, and it shows up. And the players want to play for him. And I know that when the players lose, that they feel bad for Duncan. They feel like they underperformed or they disappointed him. I think the players want to play for Duncan, and I think that showed up with the number of players that came back from the previous season, and I think it'll show up again with the number of players that we see wanting to come back as we get ready for next season.
Well, one guy we saw come back from Europe was Alex Wideman. Played what he has announced has been his final professional season, announced he was going to retire at the end of the year. And how special was it to have somebody as a veteran leading this team and setting the records he did? 50 assists sets a team record, 72 points sets a team record, but also high character guy who has been a part of the Indianapolis community. Now his third stint in Indy, started here as a junior in 2011 and now finishes his career here as a member of the Fuel. What does it mean to you to have guys like him want to come back and be a part of things here?
Yeah, well, I think we would all agree that Alex could have probably gone to any team that he wanted to go to. And I know he narrowed down where he wanted to go, and at the end of the day, he wanted to come back to Indianapolis, and I just think that speaks well of Alex. It speaks well of our organization. I think he knows that he was going to be well taken care of here. He's going to be well treated, well respected. He had that familiarity with Indianapolis. I think having Alex back and having his leadership, and for the guys to look at a guy that's played a number of years in professional hockey, played around the world in Europe and in North America, I think to see Alex sitting in the dressing room, they know that he's been there, done that, and he brings great leadership.
Well, one thing the Fuel have done as well, and you've made an emphasis from day one, is not just building the game at the professional level, but growing the game all the way through youth hockey all the way up. The Junior Fuel program just continues to grow and grow and grow and is involved in multiple rinks, and there's hundreds of young boys and girls playing hockey wearing an Indy Fuel logo on their sweater and representing Indianapolis not just at house leagues but at higher levels in travel hockey as well. And how proud of you are the way this franchise has grown the game in Central Indiana and allowed hockey to blossom, and the Fuel have been a big part of that.
Yeah, when we decided that we were going to bring the Fuel to Indianapolis and we were going to bring professional hockey back to Indianapolis, we felt that it was very important to start at the grassroots level and getting involved with the kids. And as those kids grew through hockey, our fan base would grow, and that's exactly what happened. And the number of families playing hockey here in Greater Indianapolis now is phenomenal under the Junior Fuel brand. So the other thing I'm extremely proud of the girls program that we put in place. I think we now have 150 girls that are playing hockey. Our Learn to Skate program up in Fishers is now attracting 200-300 people on a weekly basis that just come to learn to skate, get those kids skating at 2, 3, 4 years old. So I think it's been good getting the kids involved, and getting the kids involved gets the families involved. And this is a family event. It's a family opportunity. It's a night out with your family. And, the fans are very, very loyal. Of course we all want to win. We want to win every game. And the fans want to win. And they like to see the home team win. But, fans come up after a loss and they say to me, we'll get them next time. And they're just very, very loyal and very supportive of what we're trying to do here.
Next year is year 10. And so we get to celebrate an anniversary, which is always really special. But over the 9 years, now 10 years from the day we stood out here introducing the Indy Fuel in a yet to be finished, what is now known as the Indiana Farmers Coliseum, through multiple playoff appearances and seeing this brand and this team grow and seeing the city embrace this team. What's been the thing you've been most proud of as we head into our 10th year as a franchise?
I would say the thing that I'm most proud of is the impact we've had on the community. You know, there's no question. Listen, I love hockey. I grew up playing hockey. I have a lot of friends that are in hockey. But hockey wasn't first. It was really community first. And, you know, I wanted to really have an impact on the community, a legacy that would outlive me, and bring hockey back here, and the best level of hockey we could bring back here and have it here for a long time. And I think seeing that happen and unfold over the course of 9 years is really what I'm most proud of. When I walk in this arena on a Saturday night, as you mentioned earlier, and you see 6,000 plus fans in the building on a consistent basis, when you see sellout crowds where people are lined up and we're turning them away because we can't provide tickets for them, that is very refreshing, and not from a financial standpoint, is really from a commitment that we've made to the city, a commitment that we've made to our fans, and to see them come out and support us the way that they do.
It's also an exciting time for the franchise as well. We've had a great partnership here with the Indiana State Fairgrounds and playing in what is currently the oldest building currently being used in pro hockey in the Indiana Farmers Coliseum, which is really a beautiful modern building in an older arena, which really gives you the best of both worlds. But it's also an exciting time because after this season, we're going to be moving to a newer arena in Fishers, where we'll have a lot more opportunities for our fans to have a great experience. And so just look at and describe the time that we're in right now and how exciting this is for you and for the franchise to be moving into a new era.
Well, first, Andrew, I'd talk to you about what a great 10 years it will have been here at the Coliseum and at the State Fairgrounds. And I've truly appreciated Cindy Hoy and her staff, all the people here at the fairgrounds. We had a wonderful 10 years and no issues to deal with. Just come and play hockey and watch a game and be entertained, and it's just a great facility. And we're not leaving the facility because we're unhappy with the facility or we're disappointed with the facility. In fact, you have to love the character of this building. It's a great building, and as you say, the oldest building in North America where they still play professional hockey. But on the other hand, you know, things continue to evolve and things continue to change. And we had an opportunity to work with the city of Fishers and really create a vision for the involvement of that city and how that city is evolving into a real hot spot here in greater central Indiana. And so, you know, with the new building, obviously new things come. You know, the private suites come and the premium seats come, and, you know, just more options and more activities. And I always remind people that the facility in Fishers is not an arena. It's an event center. And hockey is one event, and we're going to be the major tenant there, the anchor tenant. But there's going to be a lot of other events that take place in that facility as well. And to be part of that new facility and to be the anchor tenant with all the new, I'll call them all the new trends being addressed, whether it's food and beverage or whether it's just the overall facility and the seating and the sight lines, it's just going to be a tremendous facility, and we're excited to make the move.
Well, as we head into the off season and get ready for year 10 in October, it's going to be here before you know it. What's your last message to the fans as we get ready for another hockey season to begin?
Well, first and foremost, how much we appreciate our fans. As I mentioned earlier, you're so loyal, and they're just so really grateful to be able to come and to watch this level of hockey and to bring their families. And so without their support, it doesn't happen. And we need that support. I also think it's important to recognize our sponsors. I won't go through naming each one of them, but we have a lot of very, very, very good, they're all good sponsors, right? We have a lot of support from sponsorships. But I will say for the fans, they may want to get in line for season tickets when we move into the event center in Fishers. We are going to give our current season ticket holders priority in terms of being able to come in and see the facility and select their seats first. And we'll do the same with our sponsors. The sponsors that brought us to the dance, we hope to stay with as we move to Fishers. So with that, we think that there's exciting times ahead, and we also look to kind of do that refresh on the game day experience and some of the activities that can take place at the new event center. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm really looking forward to it. And Jim, Hallett, thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the next few months. And before you know it, we'll be back here watching hockey in October.
Great. Thank you, Andrew.